All right, so it's 5 o'clock, so we'll start our work session up here. The first project we have to talk about is 9440 Big Bend Boulevard for front entry renovations.
Personally, I thought it was very well done. I did not have any comments.
My only comment was, looks good, but they're, if they're gonna paint the brick. Just.
That was my comment too,
Just, if there's like a stain or something that's.
not be a maintenance issue.
It won't be made.
I had a similar comment. I mean, I thought the proposed change looked good, but I would strongly suggest reconsidering painting the brick. Perhaps cleaning it or doing a stain or something, because it's just, as we know, it's just a costly maintenance issue, and has to keep being done and done and done when, yeah, a lot of people maybe don't fully embrace that, and how much it costs to have a large structure like that painted once every 7 to 10 years is a lot of money. So just for many reasons, would strongly urge reconsidering painting the brick.
Same thing, and I'll add to that little, it's masonry paint too, right? You know, a lot of people I don't think paint it that way because it clearly looks like it's coming off in about a year or two. So they don't realize how expensive the paint is. So it's just, that's the only issue I had. And I mean, you can stain it. There are other things you could do, or even, I don't know. Anyway, it's a large area. Maybe paint a little less of it even.
Okay. All right, we can talk about that one. The next one on the agenda is 609 Fairview for a new mudroom addition and new front porch.
I have some clarification questions on this one. The note says that it's 8-inch lap siding, but the drawing looks like it's narrower than that. And the 4-inch corner trim that's noted is not drawn. The notes say that there's no muttons in the windows, but then there's muttons shown. So those are some clarification items. And I was wondering what was planned for that drop off at the mudroom door. Is there going to be a stair there, or is there going to be a deck, or what is the idea there? Well, this is our pre-meeting, so we'll discuss it among ourselves, and then we'll talk with you once the actual meeting starts. Okay. And then also too, the front porch columns look a tad thin to me. That's, a more minor item, and I just wanted to discuss the thinking behind the solid panel front porch. So that's just like a discussion item. But those were my comments, and also we have this was just distributed this evening. We just had a couple of copies, so I'll pass this down. So for anybody who didn't see it, this rendering.
It almost looks like glass blocks.
Mhm.
And this one shows with all the muntins in it.
Yeah.
And then, there's one. Well, anyway, it's a little inconsistent.
Mhm.
And I was gonna ask about the hardy panel as well on the porch. The rendering makes it look more cohesive than just the trimless panels. on the
Right,
porch,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
It's got a little bit more detail
They're
to it.
inset panels.
Okay. Anything else? All right, talk about that one. Okay, next one for the work session is 1018 North Bompart for detached garage.
We'll comment on the back of windows.
Yeah.
And then also adding trim around the man door and around the window. The trim to match the trim around the overhead doors.
Mhm.
Yeah, same thing. I thought that actually the window in the gable looks kind of big, but more, they need a couple other windows.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't have any.
Mm.
Moving on to the next one, 215 McDonald. Um, Two components to this one. There's a detached garage and then a covered patio.
Really had the same comment. They're gonna put new brick and paint it. They might as well just put siding. Makes more sense. The house has siding. And then they're gonna have one side of the garage with siding. Why not just put all siding and not have new brick that then they paint? Doesn't,
Got it.
It'd be a huge cost savings.
Or find brick that's pre.
Yeah.
yeah,
But that's also expensive too. Or can be, like glaze it or. something.
right. But that would be at least a better maintenance
Yeah.
situation.
So the
The
the house does.
It was a
appear to
red
have
brick
painted.
house.
It was a red brick house?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's,
Oh.
for the, okay.
Oh, no, go ahead.
For the covered porch, covered patio area, there isn't a side elevation. And I'm not understanding how the roof is gonna work if it's that deep. But there's only
Mm.
a small,
It's true.
like, if it was like a ring or it's like a promenade, so the right word. If it was like a ring, the roof will work, but it looks like it's gonna be a flat roof that's not
Mhm.
shown. I'm not sure how it's gonna work. And also just my thoughts on those single columns on those fat bases. Weird, like, I see that, I get the hierarchy of what's going on
Mhm.
with the pediment, but then what if they did double columns?
Yeah, I had that same thought.
So
They keep the stone
or
base.
They do a 3 column roof here. Or 3 column one,
Doesn't look like it, no.
like that would be nice, that turn the corner with the third column maybe.
Yeah.
And if it is a flat roof, I don't see a problem with that. It's gonna be-
Comments on this one? All right, we can move to the last one, which is 330 Marshall. This is a revision to a previously approved project. Expanding the second floor.
So this one, I'm not here very often, and
Mhm.
I think this is the third time that I've seen this. one, Right? Is that correct?
here.
Yeah. The biggest change that I noticed was just with the railings on the front porch. I thought that was like solid wall previously, and I think this is a big improvement. I'm struggling to remember what
Mhm.
else may have changed on it though.
There was a roof deck off the back, so they
Yeah.
decided to
Oh.
build out the whole second floor now.
I would say
Okay.
it goes to not on elevator. Done quickly, if you will.
Mhm.
It's sort of here.
Oh, yeah.
Well, and also there's like a.
Leftover line work.
Elevation there, and then it says continuous gutter, which was the roof, which was the
Mhm.
porch edge at one time.
So there was a roof that came out with a deck or whatever. So
Yeah.
that's why the doors just are blank.
Story with the.
Yeah.
railing.
Oh, up
Hmm.
there, okay. And
They-
then on the back, was there something over these doors ever?
No.
Or nothing?
No, and that was, yeah, this one was back a few times and by my recollection, all of the changes that had been recommended have been picked up. And, I didn't see any additional changes other than adding the living space where that open porch used to be.
Yeah.
So, and I think it looks fine personally. It's in keeping with the rest of the house.
Okay. That was open.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so actually,
the
I'll say,
whole- the
so
whole
really my
master
only
suite
comment on the
was-
whole thing was that maybe they have the drive it trim around the new windows, but you can make, drive it does have a detail that you can make it look like the other windows, or they could do vice versa, whatever, to make them so they look a little bit more similar.
That was discussed and what the agreement was that it was kind of coherent to leave those existing ones on the first floor as is and then have the second floor be as shown. And I, just in fairness to the applicant, I do believe that was discussed and resolved. But if anybody else has a different recollection.
No, that was, yeah, there was quite a bit of back and forth on
Yeah.
just because there was a mixed match. Some had sills, some didn't have sills, and so we asked them to be consistent, and I think this is their decision on how they wanted to.
Yeah, and it was
Okay.
approved, it was approved previously, and it was my recollection that it was approved with the sill and trim scenario that we are seeing here. That is not a change from the previously approved.
Okay.
Financially, at one time, there wasn't even a floor by floor consistency. It was kind of.
Kind of, yeah, more, there didn't seem to be a coherent organizational scheme to what trim was where, and the agreement was to have it as is with one scheme on the first floor and the other scheme on the second floor.
Okay. I still like them all matching, but it'll look a lot better than announcing to everyone which part of your house is which.
Yeah.
But that's fine then. Okay.
I think on the kind of section they have on the sheet, the second sheet in, I think, yeah, they did bring the faces of Ethos in line and plane vertically,
Mhm.
which they were offset at one point.
Yeah. Oh,
All right, well, that concludes our work session. We'll be back at 5:30 to start the regular meeting.
Children.
Yeah.
Don't want to drop a kid.
Teaches them regularly.
Yeah.
Teaches the kids there's
Shake it
a
off.
problem. Yeah, I mean, they just. I mean, we get like a bag of tomatoes.
All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Architectural Review Board hearing. I'd like to introduce everyone here at the podium or the desk here. We got Yolanda and Jim with the city. And then the rest of us are volunteer architects and landscape architect on the board. We've got Carol and David, myself, Tracy, Mark, and Angela here to talk about your projects. The first thing we're going to do is look at meeting minutes from our last meeting from July 25th. Did we have any comments or corrections on those?
Nothing stood out to me, being correct.
Okay. And we have enough people to vote on it, so if we could get a motion to,
Make a motion to approve the minutes of July 25th meeting.
Second,
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
hi.
The minutes are approved as written. Okay, now we'll move into tonight's meeting agenda. When we call your project address, we'll have you come up to the podium, introduce yourself, tell us your name and your role in the project, and then we'll discuss it together. The first one tonight is 9440 Big Bend Boulevard. Do we have anybody here for that project? Riverside Church? Or online?
Oh, there it is. I saw one. I saw Design Alliance right hand.
Hello, this is Stacy Clear with St. Louis Design Alliance.
Good evening.
Hi.
Well, we reviewed your project during the work session and we had just a couple of comments from the board. We'd like
Sure,
to
go.
talk to you about.
Go ahead.
You might want to jump in.
Yeah, again, we all are fond of the design, well thought out. I think our only comment was, the choice to, want to paint the brick. And we had some reservation against, painting it, unless you had some comments about how are you going to paint it? If it was a latex, a brick stain, what was the methodology there?
It would be something that was specifically for use on masonry. There's a couple different additions that you can see, and that was a way to kind of unify everything along the front.
So, was there a thought about long-term maintenance on the product that's being used? And we're just concerned that sometimes you do it looks great day one, but then you get a maintenance nightmare down the road.
Yeah, it's definitely going to require maintenance. And like any other paint job, it's the key is in the prep and the skill of the applicator. So we are aware of that.
Okay. And just know it's a permanent decision. It's pretty impossible to get rid of it in the future. So
Right.
And just to consider the cost of painting a large area of masonry like that gets to be pretty prohibitive. And as we know, the cost of everything seems to go up year after year. And you may be looking at repainting that every 7 to 10 years. And then when you put an inflation factor on that and project it, that's something that I would strongly urge you all to consider before you paint the brick. Maybe consider cleaning it or staining it or something that isn't quite as expense and maintenance intensive.
That sounds good. That's great advice. We will discuss that with the owner.
So one other thing I was thinking was, since the entrance, at least this is what it looks like, maybe you could even reduce the amount of brick that's painted. The area where it's got the taller windows, narrow windows, maybe don't paint that just because they're going to have a maintenance problem. It's a light color, the light colored paint on brick stuff gets in those little grooves quickly. In 2 years, people are going to wonder why they did it. So just a thought. maybe not quite so much paint, because I can understand some areas, sometimes people feel like the brick doesn't match very well when they add it in and stuff. But, yeah, just a thought. Otherwise, actually, and I will say too, the project looks very nice,
Mhm.
very well thought out.
I agree.
Okay. Any other comments? So we can look to provide a motion for this project to approve it, and, if you decide not to paint the brick, we could just leave that up to your discretion, I guess, in the future.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So do we have a motion on 9440?
I'll make a motion to approve 9440 Big Bend as submitted with the understanding that the owners may reduce the amount of painted brick, may decide not to paint the brick or convert the painted areas to stain at their discretion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Right, this is approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to our next item on the agenda is 609 Fairview Avenue.
I am Alex Blaze with Blaze Architects.
Hey, Alex.
We also have the homeowner here, David Hildebrand.
Oh.
And you had a couple of questions, I know, from the pre-meeting regarding the corner trim. Yes, there will be corner trim on. That is a rendering error, and I apologize for that. And also the muntins on the windows will be as shown. Those do reflect the existing home.
So what will be as shown?
The window muntins you mentioned.
Oh, we were looking at the new window
Oh, yes.
in the mudroom.
Yes, that would be as shown, I believe. Yes. And then there was also a mention of the new door. There is a patio right there, so as needed, there would be a concrete step, and we need to confirm the exact height of that, but yes.
And then the renderings that were brought to the meeting tonight, were there any other changes that are reflected in these drawings that?
No, those
different
should
from
be the same as the drawings that you have there.
Okay.
Including the erroneously excluded corner trim.
And then what was the reasoning for the tightly spaced muntins versus matching the other windows in the house?
The homeowner had requested those, so if he wants to speak towards that.
Hi.
This is the front porch.
Or this is regarding the front window on the new addition.
Oh, yeah. Well, my philosophy is to match an existing home. I currently live on Lake Avenue.
Yeah.
Put over 100K into remodeling it over the years. I've had knives cut to match the wood
Mhm.
trim and casings. So it's just my basic philosophy to go with what's already there. We're talking about this window, which I had thought would match existing windows in the front. And in terms of the door, the entryway to this, as it's drawn, it's a 12-light door. And those would also match the existing windows in the house.
So then this window here on the corner, though,
Yes.
The new window.
the new window doesn't match the other windows.
Well,
Yeah, the grid on that window.
we had
Oh, yeah.
Talked about putting in a fixed window there instead of the double hungs that are on the rest of the home.
Mhm.
I've been out of town actually for the past 7 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Been with family in North Carolina and then took a vacation with my partner.
Well, good.
So and this is the first time I'm seeing this. And my preference would be to have a double hung window.
Yeah, we can change that to be a double
Oh.
hung to match the existing. Then
Oh.
Oh,
that'd be
okay.
fine.
Yeah, I wasn't understanding that if that's what you meant.
And then what do you do? Like, would you do a pair of double hungs for the same width overall, or would you do a?
Just a single one.
Would do a single. There is a closet in that space that
Oh,
would
okay.
interfere with doing it a bit wider with a pair of double hungs, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically a coat closet, and that new space there is a mudroom, so.
And again,
so
the
this would be it.
purpose of the mudroom is to simply have a direct pathway to where the car would be parked. And it's, my intention with this house is to set it up for an old man, basically. I'm 76, so that's already a moot point, but I'm trying to make this house accessible and
Yeah.
just adaptable for someone older.
I think we also
Okay.
had some comments on the front porch as
Okay.
well. The board was discussing the panels on the porch, why it was a solid railing instead of open. Didn't know your thoughts on that and
Yeah.
the
well,
detailing
I've
of that.
Lived on Lake since 2005 and my partner is actually on Oakwood also. And on Lake, as you must know, most of those houses, if not all, are joy built. And there's 18 houses on the block. 17 have porches that people can use.
With the low walls. Yeah.
And 16 of those 17 have the solid knee walls. My partner also has a house on Oakwood. It has a solid knee wall. And I think that in terms of consistency with what's here in Webster, I'm used to knee walls.
What you like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I will say the rendering shows it as it's more of it looks more like a recessed panel instead of just a plain.
Yeah, it would be, those
Framed
are
out.
meant to be, yes, recessed with the
The trim around.
trim
each
there
panel. Yeah.
between the 48-inch panels.
Okay, because I think that would look
Yeah.
okay. That would look
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll look good.
Yeah, the rendering helped a lot. So thank
Yeah.
you.
And yeah, because there is that trim piece at the rail too that isn't shown on the drawing.
So it looks more like it's
Yeah.
supposed to.
Yeah.
A couple of other clarification questions. The notes say that the siding is 8-inch lap. However, it looks like it's drawn much narrower.
It should be 8 inches, although.
When
that
I'm
might
looking
be-
at the
yeah.
photograph and I'm looking at the drawing, it looks like the drawing is showing,
As 6 or.
or
It
yeah,
should be,
or
I
maybe
believe our
a
measurements
4.
are 8 inches. We are planning to, where possible, the home is built, currently built with aluminum siding, and where possible, we are planning to reuse that.
Okay,
However, it is difficult to source new aluminum siding in the appropriate color.
Right.
So we are, where necessary, going to be matching the same profile, the same 8-inch in Hardy, I believe.
Okay.
was
Okay.
My
in-
contractor said he couldn't find any aluminum
Oh, yeah.
siding. It's a wood grain
Mhm.
aluminum. And, but we did manage to salvage some of it, and I'm hoping to use that on the front part at least to match.
okay. Yeah, just as long as, just the clarification, because the
Yeah.
note and the photographs do look different from the drawing.
Yeah,
So
we'll
that, I think
double-check
that that's
we have it.
fine. And we can just like word that into the motion as a clarification. So
Absolutely.
a question doesn't come up when it's, under construction and reviewed.
And I think one last comment that I heard during our work session was regarding the columns at the porch, looking a little bit undersized. Maybe we could make those a little bit bigger. I don't know if they're
I
6
think
inch,
I
maybe
have them
bump up
shown
to.
as 6 at the moment, but I can, we can look at potentially increasing the size of those to 8s perhaps.
Yeah.
or-
Yeah, and then I don't know if you want to put a capital on it, or I guess it's got that trim up there.
And And I guess if structurally they could be 6s, you can just put a wrap on them to make them chunkier.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can consult with the contractor to see if we just want to do 8s, actual 8s, or if we do
Oh.
want to put a wrap on them to see what would be easier for him as well. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Do we cover everything we talked about? Talked about the window, sign, front porch. Okay.
Oh, I did just have another quick item. Is there some sort of skirt material on the front porch? It looks like it's just kind of drawn blank.
I am unsure what the plan on that, I believe we were going to put the same panels base either all the way down or interrupted by trim.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you do go with like a hardy,
Mhm.
then you'll carry that trim scheme down to the porch skirt? Is that the plan?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Can I ask a question? By skirt, you mean an opening to let water out?
Or the space below this portion
Yeah.
here.
Oh, that one there. Oh, I see.
Yeah, just so it's closed off with something because it can have a really detracting appearance to just have
Yeah,
that be
the closed
open.
Structure.
Yeah.
Right, no, I would want that closed off.
Okay.
Definitely with, I know they make a textured wood grain hardy board, you know.
And yeah, and just what we were discussing is having that area be closed off with the hardy and be trimmed in a way that's similar to the porch rail.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I did a kitchen addition on my Lake Avenue house, and that's what I used.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Okay. Well, it sounds like all the changes we've talked about this tonight, you're agreeable to, so we can include that in our motion to approve the project. Anybody wants to state a motion?
I'll try.
Okay. There's a couple of clarifications I will add for you.
Yeah. What's the word proposed?
Make a motion.
Make a motion to accept 609 Fairview as submitted with the following clarifications. The front porch will have the recessed panel and batten or trim look extended to the ground as well. The porch columns will be increased in size to an 8x8. The window at the mudroom will be changed to a single double hung window with a 6/6 mullions to match the existing window
Mhm.
in the house. And then the mudroom will have the stoop added to step down from the floor to the grade.
To clarify, to match the existing house would be a 4x6, not, or excuse me, never mind, 6x6, sorry. I've not had nearly enough caffeine today. They're 2x3 on both the top and bottom.
Oh, right.
Existing
So
house.
I was saying 6/6.
Yep,
Yeah.
which, yes, as I apologize, I have
Oh, that's
not had
fine.
nearly enough caffeine today.
So did I get everything?
In the corner trim.
Oh, and the corner trim will be added
And it will be 8-inch lap.
and 8-inch lap siding.
Okay, I think that's everything that I've got on my list.
I'll let Carol,
Okay.
I'll let you do it next time.
That's okay. I was just doing the checklist
Yeah.
because I was writing down what everybody said.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Okay, you're approved. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, our next item is 1018 North Park for the detached garage.
Hello again.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Debbie Richardson. I'm the permit coordinator for Coach House Garages. I've contacted our homeowner in the span between the work meeting
Yep.
and this meeting. If you would look at the rear elevation, the homeowner would like to accommodate the lack of windows by adding matching pair of windows in that gable end that would match the pair of windows in the front gable. So there would be, he would prefer not to have windows on the side. The one side butts right up against a fence. I mean, there's enough room, but you know, if there's a fence there, so it's not facing anything other than the fence. So if that is adequate, just to add those two in the rear gable, he would be amenable to that, very much so. The second thing that was brought up was the trim around the windows and the door being consistent across everything like the overhead door is, and everything will be consistent and match the house.
I think Angela, you had a comment about the windows, maybe feeling a little oversized in that gable.
Yeah, I don't know, the pair of windows that is there, I assume those are double hungs is the idea.
Yeah.
They
If you
seem
look
a
at the picture of the house, I mean, I think the desire was just to kind of mirror the house there on that front gable of the house.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so I think then I would make the windows a little bit more proportionate to the gable of the garage.
So you would like them
The
to be a
same
little bit more
proportions?
narrow?
Yeah, make them a little more narrow, add a mullion between the two would be actually really nice
Okay,
to make them look
Okay.
similar to that. Have a mullion with a pair.
Especially if you add trim around there. it's
And the
gonna get
trim across the
close to
top would be
okay.
nice if you
And we'll
made
make
the
the
head
rear
trim go.
gable match the same.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That would be nice, yes.
And that's storage up there. That's storage.
There is a half.
Like a,
There's attic trusses, so
Yeah,
there's some
yeah.
storage.
but no floor for storage. So the light would come in.
The light from the, those gable windows will come in.
Yeah.
Through the sides. There is some floor there just throughout the middle.
Got it.
Yeah, it has a knee wall in both corners and
Oh, okay.
Sounds good. I think we've covered our comments. Work session. Okay. Sounds like some good changes. So with that, do we have a motion for 1018 Northbound Park?
I'll make a motion to approve 1018 North Bompart Avenue with the following revisions. The window in the gable will be just slightly smaller with a proportion similar to what is on the house. And the two windows will be mulled with a wider mullion like on the house, and the trim across the top and around the sides and sill trim. And then the opposite gable will have the same thing. Let's
And-
see, was there anything else?
Could we add that there will be trim around the
Man
man
door.
door?
There'll be trim
that
around the man
matches?
door that also matches, you know.
Do I have a
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, you
Thank
are
you.
approved. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, next project is 215 McDonald Place. Hey. Attached garage and patio cover.
Hello, how are you? Okay, so like you guys talked about, we have a detached garage and we have, so the patio's existing, we're just putting a roof over it with new columns.
Oh, yeah.
And I do agree that we need to double up the columns on the other two pedestals. I think that's a good idea. Is that the only question on that one?
There wasn't a side elevation.
That was the other thing.
Just because if you look at the main elevation that was provided, the roofs don't seem to work with the depth of the porch.
It is fairly flat.
Very, very flat. Okay.
So will you have shingles on it? It's calling out asphalt shingles, but if you're under,
If I remember right, we drew it at a 212.
Oof, okay.
so you could,
I think,
Get ice and
don't
water
quote
for
me
you.
on
Yeah,
I think. I'd have to go back and.
It's water shield.
yeah, over the whole thing, yeah.
Attack again. Could you provide a side elevation?
Sure,
Okay. Okay.
sure. Yeah.
I'm not sure how we, if we need to have you come back again in 2 weeks, if we did that. Because right now it looks like, just from my point of view, I'm looking at that. And I'm seeing on the north elevation, I'm seeing the, even if it's 212, it's not going to hit the back wall before it gets a lot taller than it's shown right now. So.
Sure, I can either drop something off, well, I'm gone next week, but I could drop something off here or come back to the next meeting. Either way is
Okay.
fine.
Jim,
Yeah,
what's the procedure now with different people up higher?
resubmit.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And it would be a candidate for a pre-approval, maybe we
Okay.
we correspondence in advance of the meeting if
Mhm.
it meets the requirements.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea to really work out that roof slope and really work out how it intersects the existing house, especially because you've got those window sills of the second floor right
Yeah.
there. I think that would be a really, in the best interest of the project.
sure.
And I have seen projects where it's a 512 or 412 roof that goes up, but then it transitions to a flat roof membrane, which is, I guess that's a way you could do it, but you might want to rethink how you do it. So.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then, as David mentioned, if you could provide that side elevation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And also how that porch tucks into the, I don't know what you call that there's that bay roof, shed roof on the side as well, how that tucks in there,
Oh.
how it tucks into that roof there. Oh,
But yeah, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Roof plan would help.
right.
Side elevation. Those two drawings would probably help. A lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if the roofs do go up and change, a
Mm.
little partial roof plan would be
Oh,
helpful.
sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
Did the homeowners want brick on the garage?
Oh, right.
We've got brick on 3 sides and then siding on the back, which makes sense, but we were kind of wondering if maybe you just do siding on all 4 sides unless they had
Thinking.
yeah.
It does appear that the west elevation existing does have brick.
Oh, that's a red brick house so the Google Earth shows it as a red brick house.
Painted recently.
And it's, so
Oh,
it's
the
not
paint- oh, painted
long ago
recently.
painted.
Got it.
It looked very nice as red brick house.
The painted house.
Yeah.
On the house, it looks like it's got brick on 2 sides.
Yeah, it looks as though there's some addition at the
Yeah,
back.
there was actually, this is kind of near my house. I walk past here all the time. So I remember when this came through ARB originally, that the addition, the siding on the side with the sided addition, that came through probably 4 or 5 years ago, maybe.
Okay.
So that was an addition and there was some changes on the front porch and such, but I kind of agree with the idea that if the owners are amenable, they might want to just do siding because that new addition does have the siding on it rather than, have the maintenance of painting brick and maybe avoid some expense of the masonry if they want to, because, I think that's a good suggestion that Angela made to consider that.
Sure.
So you might want to have a conversation with them about, yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's a good point. It actually looks like the paint is peeling on the top of the chimney already.
Oh, yeah, the chimneys, it takes about a year, I think, and they
Yeah.
start to peel.
Was this the house where they removed the chimney on the right side?
Oh.
Oh,
Do you
is
remember
that one? That was a while,
so.
that
It
was
was
a
a
while
while
There you
ago.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know this house sat vacant for a while when I was talking to the
Oh.
homeowner about it, and they did a whole bunch of work to it.
Yeah,
So it could be.
yeah.
Could be.
Oh,
Yeah.
I got it. Okay, so you used to have chimney on both ends. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. I see it.
This was.
That it
Ken's
is,
project.
because it
Yeah.
does have the look of like,
Ken's project.
Hmm.
Oh,
it should
really?
be like this.
Let's call Ken.
Yeah.
Sorry, we know you retired and moved away, but you know, it's us again.
All right. Well, it sounds like we will table this then and wait for your next round of drawings, but looks like it looks really nice. though. The garage is off to a
Very
good
good.
start, so.
So just to be clear, I have siding, columns, roof plan, side elevation. Missing anything?
And just check on brick if they want to have brick or no brick. Cost savings, yep.
And make sure the plan view shows the column bases on wherever those are. Looks like there's what's shown now is the two single columns don't show the larger base. David, did you mention doing the third column on the corner?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And you brought that up. The third corner and also, you know, just the third column on the corner and then the double columns on the other posts. And I think the side elevation will probably have some more columns too, just to
Probably add.
based on the depth of it. Yeah.
Yeah, add one around the corner. That makes sense. Okay, very good.
That's good. Okay. So we will table this for now and then see you at the next one, probably.
All right, very good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right, the last one this evening is 330 Marshall Avenue.
Hi. Hello.
You're back.
I'm back.
It looks like the roof deck is no longer and you're adding a master suite up there.
Yep.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, I was just questioning what some of the other changes were since the last time you were here. It looks like the wall on the steps is being replaced by a railing now.
Correct. That was something
I think
you guys
that's a really
recommended.
good move. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was up on the previously approved version. Yeah, I remember that.
right.
We discussed that and I
You
think
can
it
see
looks
it better
nice.
from the front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks good.
Yeah. And we're not all here at the same time, so we're trying to piece
Yeah.
together the
That's
history.
right.
Yeah.
So it all looks good. We can have a motion then.
I'll make a motion to approve 330 Marshall Avenue as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Hi.
Aye.
Aye. You are approved. Good to go.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, the meeting is officially adjourned. And we've got a